Lawrence today, he here's his quote. Let's take a look at what he said, and then let's analyze what it may mean. I'm intrigued by this. Oh, we don't have the quote. The bottom line is this, and I'm going to paraphrase to the best of my limited recollection. He's not sure what he's going to do. And that, to me, is an indication that he understands that he's going to end up with a really bad team if he comes out this year. Now, here's the reality. You're always going to end up with a really bad team, barring a trade, barring an acquisition of a pick by a better team. So whenever you come out, that's what you're looking at. I think his better move, Charean, is to just make an Eli Manning, John Elway power play. And I'm surprised guys don't do that more often. I don't know who advises them on this, but I think there's a way to make the argument without being perceived as a jerk. And let me tell you this, any player out there now or in the future, if you ever do this, I will support you 100%. The argument is the draft isn't fair. I got to pick my college. I should get to pick my next destination. And we have seen time and again quarterbacks who go to a bad team with a bad coach and a bad owner and a bad everything, and they're ruined. And they never get a second chance. I don't want to be that guy. I want to pick where I go. So I don't want to go to the team that holds the first overall pick, and I'm making sure that everyone knows that right now. And you know what? If that team picks me, I won't sign a contract. I'll sit out the whole year, and I'll re-enter the draft next year. If he has misgivings and reservations about what to do, that's what he should do, because there's no reason playing football again next year. There's no reason to play for free next year. If you want to avoid the Jets or whoever else has the first overall pick and you don't want to go to a bad, dysfunctional team, your leverage is to say, don't draft me, because if you do, I will never sign with you. That's what he should do.
Two ways to do it, Mike, and the Mannings did it both ways. Peyton Manning was coming out in 1997. The Jets had the first pick, and Peyton said, I'm going back to school, and ended up being picked by the Colts the next year. And then you go to Eli Manning, and obviously they had the power play. The Chargers picked him number 1 overall anyway. He says, I'm not playing with you. We all remember the face he made on stage holding up that Chargers jersey. And ended up being traded to the Giants where he wanted to go. So absolutely, he has leverage, Trevor Lawrence does, and he needs to use that in whatever way he wants to use it. If he doesn't want to go to Jets, he needs to make that clear that he doesn't want to go to the Jets. If they end up with the number 1 pick, and figure out who he would like to go to and try to facilitate a trade to where he wants to go, just like Eli did. But I think these players, and I think they figured that out. I mean, we've seen this right through the social injustice things that have happened. They hold way more power than they think they do, and I think they've started to figure that out.
You know, the rest of the story on Eli Manning, I've heard over the years, is that, first of all, it was Archie who took the public criticism.
Right.
It's nice to have a former football player as a father who can be the one to say, I don't think my son should play for the Chargers. But the reality is he visited the Chargers, and he got mixed signals as to whether or not the team really wanted him. Marty Schottenheimer was the coach. A.J. Smith was the GM. They hated each other. Smith wanted Eli, and Marty didn't. That was the impression Eli got. So he doesn't want to go to a place where he's not sure whether or not they want him. That was part of it, and it worked out. And for Trevor Lawrence, it's very simple. If you're thinking about not getting paid to play football in 2021, then make it known, publicly or privately, you're not going to go to this team, this team, this team, this team, this team. And if any of those teams draft you, you're not signing a contract with that team unless that team is going to be trading him to a team that he will play for. And if it does, and if they don't like it, he'll sit out the whole year and he'll enter the draft again in 2021, which is what I'm waiting for someone to do.
We've said ever since his freshman year, right, Mike, that he would be the number 1 overall pick. Who would you have taken last year if you're the Bengals? Would you have taken Joe Burrow, or would you have taken Trevor Lawrence? It would have been an interesting decision.
Yeah, it would have been, and I probably would have taken Trevor Lawrence just because Joe Burrow had that one great year. Now, so far, Burrow has played extremely well.
Been great.
But he had that one great year at LSU, and before that, he wasn't even on the radar screen for a first-round pick. So I probably Lawrence, though, because he's got the body of work. He's done it more on a longer basis. I don't know why I'm struggling with such simple words. And it's only Tuesday. He's done it longer than Joe Burrow. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.